I am live. Still alive. Still alive and well. Hello everyone. Welcome to Tea with G, or satsang for the rest of us, maybe. Gotta make sure my volume is okay. I find myself speaking rather softly right now, so I'm going to make sure that the volume is working for everybody. I think this will do well. So hi, I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad I'm here. I hope you have a lot of good, interesting, moving, and freedom-bringing questions for me today. It's always a pleasure to sit and talk about the unspeakable. Knowing full well I'm going to fail miserably, nonetheless, I so enjoy it. I felt the impulse to read a little something from the Avadut Gita. I'm going to be doing an intensive around the Avadut Gita, Song of the Avadut is the name in English. But next week, I'll tell you about later, I'm going to do some other workshops for folks who have been requesting it, and so I'm going to do that. Oh, my camera's up there, isn't it? Yeah. Keep forgetting. Anyway, I've got 3 verses here that I want to read. Right from chapter 1 of the Song of the Avadut. By the way, an Avadut is just another word for sage. It's one who has gone beyond the illusions, gone beyond all of the, you might say, the pleasures and pains of the human being. It doesn't mean they don't have them. It just means they are beyond them. There's no attachment or addiction to them. So when you're listening to something like this, don't think of it as written by some wise person a long time ago. I don't know exactly how long ago this was written. The energy, the inspiration, the source of what is being said is coming right from the ultimate self, the nature of all, God, if you will. So, anyway, it says this: truly, it is by the grace of God, ultimate, the absolute, that the knowledge of unity arises within. Then a man is released at last from the great fear of life and death. All that exists in this world of forms, this one, is nothing but the self, and the self alone. A couple on the next page. What then is the heart of this highest truth, the core of knowledge, the wisdom supreme? It is, I am the self, the formless one. By my very nature, I am pervading all. That one God who shines within everything, who is formless like the cloudless sky, is the pure, stainless self of all. Without any doubt, that is who I am. Now mind you, when you hear first person being spoken by the Avadut or a sage, it's not talking about a person, a body, a form who lives at a certain time, is holding a pen and writing stuff. It's talking about you. You can say this in first person. That one God who shines within everything, who is formless like the cloudless sky, is the pure, stainless self of all, the self, actual self, the true, authentic self. Without any doubt, That is who I am. That is who you are. I am the self, the formless one. By my very nature, I am pervading all. Happy to entertain any questions people might have to say about that. But yeah, you put the whole thing very succinctly, right to the point, that the root, the highest truth, the highest thing we can reach for, the end of the sadhana, the end of the path, the end of knowledge, the end of the search, is that, the highest truth. I am the self, and the self is all there is. There isn't somebody else. There isn't an other. There isn't a bunch of warring egos batting each other over the head. There is no such thing. There is only the self. Our practice is recognizing that this is the truth. It is the truth of you. Right? Now, the moment I say that, you'll say, yeah, but what about all of this? And I got all these problems and all these things, and my mind just drives me crazy, and there's all this stuff going on. Does anything affect the truth of something? Does it matter how much stuff is happening in your life? Does it matter the things you've experienced, the stuff you've gone through? Does any of that change what is true about you? Just think about it for a moment. Truth is not something that comes and goes. Truth is not something that that was once false and now has become true and then will become false again. By its very nature, truth is forever. It is the truth in all time and in all places. In our spiritual journeys that we've taken, there's been a lot of different kinds of spiritual practices and excuse me, and techniques and the like. We've all gone through many of them, and they've all had their benefit on you. But has any of the things you've done, the most creative, the most brilliant, the most beautiful, the most revealing, the deepest and or biggest spiritual experiences you've ever had, will they change the truth about you? Will they make it more true? What we do oftentimes is we get really involved in a certain kind of spiritual practice, and then we get the idea that that somehow enlightenment, awakening, the revelation of the truth there's supposed to be a checklist there, right? Okay, it's going to be like this and like this. It's going to be nothing but light, and I'm going to be absolutely happy all the time. I'm never going to get sick. All of these ideas that we have about what awakening is. And then when something like this is spoken, the simple, direct truth, that the truth is always true. The truth about you is the truth about you now. It always was, and it always will be. Immediately, all of those old habits are, yeah, but what about this? Isn't awakening supposed to mean, it's going to be like, there's supposed to be some drama here, some, Hollywood special effects. Notice that every one of these thoughts either denies completely or postpones truth. as if the truth is not true now, but it will be later. You're not the self, you're not the perfect immortal being now, but you will be later. We just got to work hard a little bit harder, double down a bit, work, meditate more, chant more. Yeah. What if none of that is necessary? Why can't we just go directly to what the truth is and simply receive it in our hearts? Don't give it to your mind, right? Because your mind's full of knowledge. It's full of all sorts of stuff that it's trying to, that it thinks is necessary, that we've been taught and trained and really believed is necessary in order to attain these higher states, in order to attain this highest state, as if truth was a state that could be attained. This is the nature of truth, of reality. Reality doesn't become real. Reality is what is. What's always here, already here. What's always been here. So you might even say that this path, this particular path, this path of non-dual self-inquiry, is really an acceptance deep in your own heart, even on faith and a little bit of logic. Makes sense that truth is not changing. So the truth of me, if it seems like I realize it 300 lifetimes from now, it's the same truth I'm going to realize that I would realize right now. The truth isn't going to change. Take that in, a little bit of logic, and then a little bit of faith that that's true. Don't give it to your mind and all the checklists. Just put that all to the side. And just take it into your heart. And then you'll notice that everything that comes up is a denial that it's true now. You begin to notice that everything, all of these thoughts, all of these ideas, even the feelings, the stories, the associations, everything that we have, I don't care what it is, even our most cherished ones, are a denial, or at least a postponement of what in fact is true now. It's a very simple practice, this practice. It's a simple acknowledgement that, yes, I am the self. How do I know that? What even is the self? Well, you have lots of people, well-known people, describing things for me. Know well that I, the self, you, am unaffected by the appearance or disappearance of the world. To me, there is neither Maya nor its absence. How then can I speak of the performance of right actions? My nature is freedom. There's no Maya to me. Maya being the great illusion. The great illusion is that you're not who you actually are. That's pretty illusory. That's kind of it's a delusion, isn't it? Acting out your life as somebody you're actually not. Then who are you? How do you approach this? Recognizing that it is a fact. How do you approach this? Well, there's a sense there that I don't know who I am. Right? Yet at the same time, there's a conviction there, at least a faith that the teacher's telling you the truth, that I am the self, pure awareness, Buddha nature, God, the absolute, all these words. All those words that if you give it over to your mind, you'll have all sorts of definitions and ideas and stuff about it from all sorts of different traditions, especially if you've been around a bit and seen a lot of stuff. I go, okay, I have no idea who this is. So who am I? Just holding that question without referring to anything you've known, without referring to any concept or idea or thought or teaching. No teaching. Not even mine. Who am I? Just like a prayer. Who am I? Who am I really? And don't budge from there. Don't. At first be really hard because there's all sorts of ideas we hold on. We have all sorts of self-images and all. And just stay with this. Well then, who am I? And simply recognize this, that if this is self-realization, right? Seeing yourself as you actually are. Well, nobody else can tell you that, can they? Nobody else can draw you a picture of you. It'll be a perception. It'll be a snapshot. It won't be you. The answer can't come from anywhere but you. Right? Self-realization. You realizing yourself. This is why you hold out for the good stuff. You hold out for what is arising within you. There'll be insights. There'll be some struggles. There'll be some stuff that you'll see. Oh boy, I'm really holding on to this as myself. But that isn't me. It didn't come from me. I can perceive it, so it isn't actually me. Who am I? And just be with that. The sense of your own being. You know you are, right? That's a fact. So, what am I then? Who am, or what am I is another way of doing it. I don't know, I'm kind of meandering all over the place because I get a lot of questions about different things. And of course, I answer every question that comes to me because I know it's coming, well, when I know it's coming from a sincere heart. Because sometimes it's not. Sometimes people just want to argue. That doesn't happen here very often. It has a couple of times. But at any rate, I'm really wanting to give you something with some meat on the bones, but it's a very simple practice. It is not elaborate, doesn't require anything special about it. You don't need incense and candles, you don't need any special clothes, you don't need any special time of day or posture. It's the capacity to be able to, well, if there is any skill involved, it's the capacity to be able to focus your attention. To notice how your attention's always wandering off to all of the various things that have grabbed our interest in the past, and it still holds them. And we live in a time of unprecedented amount of distraction. Just everything grabbing for our attention. So this skill to simply go, well, where do I want to put my attention? At least for 5-10 minutes, I'm just going to put my attention on my own being. And this question, who am I? And then just not look to the mind. And attention's going to want to keep going back to the mind and experiences and memories and all of that. But to just kind of look, you're looking somewhere, but you can't see anything yet. It's kind of like you're trying to remember the name of a song or something. Oh God, what's the name? Right? Now, where are you looking when you're trying to remember that? Not really looking anywhere, right? You're kind of looking at this murky place because you know there's an answer in there somewhere. And the same is true when you're trying to describe something. Talking to someone, some event you're describing, you use a word to describe it. It was really you can't find the word. Or you say the word, and something tells you that's not the right word. And that time between it's not right and the right one comes, where are you looking? That's the same place you look for the answer to the question, who am I? It's just that. It's so very simple, right? But it's not what we're used to. And our attention wants to jump to all of the shiny objects. It wants to jump to and hold on to its opinions and its ideas. And just a willingness to go, I don't know. Who am I? I want to know. Something in me says knowing this is important. Knowing this has benefits. Yeah. All right. Wow, quiet group today. I will go back and just say hi to folks, but the floor is open for questions. I was just kind of like chewing around, really wanting to share that. Because truthfully, at the risk of some other practices or teachers or techniques getting a bit offended, this is all you need. This is truly the last practice you'll ever need. I have found that to be true for me. And I just feel enormously blessed that it was shown to me. Just this simple thing. You're not what you think you are. You are already the infinite being, boundless, timeless, dimensionless. You're already that. There's just a bunch of thoughts that say you're not. Which is true? Which you're going to believe? All right. Roberto, so good to see you. Oh, you are in Madrid again, not on the road right now. Fantastic. And there's Rosario, also in Madrid. So I see that Madrid is well represented. Maybe Sylvia will be here. So more of Spain is represented. There's Ava, my woman in Poland. Sally in London. And there's Savvy Stacker. Ali in Florida. Hi to you. There's Ella. Good to see you, Ella. Wonderful. Missed you at the Sangha this week. It's Robbie in Romania. Boy, Robbie, you've been listening here for a long time, haven't you? Yeah. You've been with me for quite a while. Megan. Hello, Megan. Megan just completed level 2. And hopefully she's going to go on to level 3 of my emotional healing course. What in the world does that have to do with non-duality? My understanding of who I actually am, which is not complete yet, I'm not claiming to be a Buddha, has informed me, really revealed how all this works, how it is that we get sick, how we get traumatized, how the delusion that we're somebody other than we are gets set in place, and also just how to alleviate just the enormous amount of suffering that is plaguing our world. And I found that just giving a nice non-dual explanation of things about the nature of illusion and perception and all that for many, not most, just doesn't cut it. There's so much suffering, so much confusion, so much wounding, so much trauma. There's very little space left to do the kind of deep inquiry that is required. We have to become functional in our lives as well. That being someone who wasn't very functional for a long time, I can testify to the value of that. And even though you are the self, and ultimately will be the only medicine or therapy or remedy you need, in the beginning on this side of the bridge, there's a lot of healing is often required. And so I do that, and I teach other people how to do it, and I immerse people in it, because it really is an enormous transformation of your just your interface or interactions and relationships with the world. One of the key elements I found in utilizing emotional healing, using tapping, that's kind of a modality I like the most, but a few other things as well, is that the insight that can come there, it's easier for somebody to swallow than this whole non-dual inquiry stuff, is to discover that you're not your conditioning. That the conditioning we've been living with, and living as, and struggling with, and suffering from, we've mistaken that for our actual selves. When in fact, all of your problems, the difficulties, the struggles, the negative self-talk, the failures, the fears, don't belong to you personally. They are simply the way the nervous system was programmed to be, and because we didn't know any better, we mistook that for who we actually are. My very first second actually, the first one that actually changed my life from top to bottom was that insight. It just came, some of you may have heard the story, but I'm not going to tell it now. Just this, my wit's end just completely at rock bottom, and there was suddenly, I recognized, didn't have the words for it. I didn't know what conditioning was. It was 1971. It wasn't a common term yet. But what I saw was that there was the conditioning, all of this stuff that I felt so horrible about. I just hated myself. But there was also this core that hadn't been touched by it. The truth of me. I called it original innocence. And I saw they were not the same. It took many, many years for me to actually sort through it all and come to terms with both the magnitude of the actual impact of the experience, the spiritual insight, and also the psychology and emotionality and all this stuff that went into it, because I didn't know about things like traumas and conditioning, Pavlov's dog, and all of that. This was just me. I was just messed up. But no, it wasn't me. It wasn't who I am. It took a while to unravel that, because the habit of thinking that's who I am was very strong. I encountered after that metaphysics, which had some non-dual flavor to it. It was not the pure teaching. I hadn't got to that yet. So, there is in all of us that which has never, ever, ever been touched by all of the crap, by all of the pollutants, by all of the stuff we've had to deal with. that all the suffering has been a result of believing yourself to be nothing other than this, than what in fact is just conditioning. The way the nervous system programmed itself to survive in the environment in which it was living and how it got stuck there. And getting stuck in that environment, that's what a trauma is. So, anyway, I went off on that for a bit. Oh, let's see, who else is here? Anyway, it inspired me from Megan. Nay, so good to see you. Good to see you. Love you, love you, love you. Crispin, good to see you, my friend. There's Marty Hale. Hello, Marty. And Christine has a question for me. Yeah, but I used to feel secure handing things over to God. Why does the idea that I'm one with God, I am God, fill me with some sense of insecurity or fear? Well, there's two things. Oh, Sylvia, there's the other one from Spain. I was wondering if you're going to be here. There's two things involved here. We have all, most of us here, unless you grew up in Asia or India or your parents were Asian or Indian and the like, something that grew up in a culture other than the culture dominated by Abrahamic religions. If you grew up in any of those, which I think most of us here did, Christian, Judaism, or Islam, the sense of God is a separate being, an entity up there, all-powerful, made you, and oneness with God is blasphemy, even though that's what Christ said. It's one of the reasons why they didn't like him very much. It's a relationship with this, and that means you've got to follow these rules, and the rules vary, and they've changed over time. God's the absolute authority and the enforcer. Now, even though I know you don't really see it that way anymore, most of us don't, it's so deeply ingrained in the culture and in our upbringing that there's still elements there of that sense of being separate from it. Right? It's going to make resistance to the idea of being one with God. That God being not the ultimate other, but a word to represent the very self, the being of all things, the I am in everything that exists. That God is formless, is pure, is boundless and timeless, beyond what we can conceive of. Now, the idea of being that one, I am that one, and even use another word other than God, I am the self. I am one with pure awareness. I am pure consciousness. Different words. I am one with truth. It is the truth about me. If God is the truth, then God is my truth, the truth about me. That is a indirect conflict with the egoic sense of self, isn't it? Let me put this over here so we'll go closer to the camera. That's in direct conflict to the ego. That what we've been told we are, what we believe we are, what we're told what God is. So there's this sense of letting go of something essential, right? And I can assure you, nothing is let go of. It's as if I become nothing. I cease to exist, oblivion, and there's nothing but God. Now, if there's still some rumblings under there of God as some kind of otherness, some kind of being, then that would be fearful. So I'm just not going to exist, it's just going to be God. Okay, so what am I then? Nothing? I'm an illusion? I'm a delusion? So it's not that, is it? One means one. To be one with God, to be one as God, means that there is God the essence, God the non-dual, God the timeless, and God as she appears in form. I mean, you don't have songs without the fundamental essence and principle of music, do you? Every song, every bit of music, everything ever written or ever will be written is music. So what is music without the song? It's inconceivable. The closest we can come is like the potential for music. Same thing with love. What is love? We have to describe loving acts. Love of another, the love of family, the love of your work, the love of art, the love of nature, the love of love, the feelings of love, the experiences, the acts of love. And they're all different, aren't they? And yet they are all love. So the act of love and the essence of love are one, aren't they? They're not, you can't separate them. Without the existence of this essence called love, there'd be no acts of love, right? But yet, that's not all there is to it, is there? Love doesn't get into that one thing and get stuck there. The you that is speaking right now, Christine Pollock, this form that is speaking to you, the form that's listening, the one that you typing, that form is the Lord. It is God. That's the truth of being. It is the form of the self. The self and it are one. The sense of being, that is the sense of the person, is the mirage in the desert. It's the idea that this form, called Christine, exists independently from its essence, and is now trying to find her way back to it. That the finding way back is really the dissolution of that mirage, of that illusion that the form and its source are two somehow, and that somehow I'm going to get lost, I'm going to cease to exist when the illusion goes away, when I'm no longer seeing through the eyes of an illusion. You know, when your friends get in the car and they're driving away and you're waving goodbye, and it's all getting smaller and smaller and smaller, do you think they're all getting smashed as they go off? Yet that's what we see. For the longest time, we believed the earth was still and that the sun was going around it, right? Well, in the West we did. They didn't in the East. In India, that's just here. Anyway, when we realized that wasn't the case, did the world suddenly change? Did the world start moving and the sun sit still? Nothing changed. Everything was exactly as it was. In fact, we all still had the experience of us being stationary and the sun moving. The illusion is gone. That's it. The ego is an illusion that is simply the belief that I, the sense of your own being, which is God, is this form, and not that form, and not that form. I am the body. I get compressed into this particular form, and then everything else becomes separate. How's that, Christine? Anybody wants to comment about that? The sense of self that is based on the conditioning is the illusion. That's Maya. It is the great delusion. It's all of the thoughts that I am that. That is what feels threatened by the prospect of being one with God, because to the ego, that means I'm gone. I don't exist anymore. Well, guess what? It doesn't exist now. It is only a thought. That's it. A thought believed. So what happens if you don't believe it anymore? And what would doubt it? It can't doubt itself. The very fact that you could say, wait a minute, is this actually who I am? Am I going to disappear? Well, if I was just nothing but this body, I've disappeared a billion times. I mean, how many times a second is this whole thing changing? You don't look like the way you did before. The body's going to die. Are you going to die? There's nothing but this constant transformation that you are aware of. So are you the ego, that sense of self, or are you the consciousness that's aware of it? Notice that that fear is that you're going to get lost. Only the illusion of a separate self gets lost. You're not the separate self. The consciousness right now that is hearing my words, that's God. It's not going anywhere. The consciousness that's appearing there as you and is appearing here as me is the same consciousness. When you meditate with me, as you have, and we go to this place where you just are. There's just the sense of being. Everybody could do it right now. Just, you know that you are, right? Everybody here, there's no doubt you know who you are. Excuse me, you know that you are, right? You know, you're aware of being aware, right? Okay. Just that sense of being, without attaching anything to it. Do you think anybody here doing this is going to be experiencing something different, a different being? Even though the experience is different forms, different thoughts, different relationships and all of that. And you put all of that aside just to the essence of you, the sense of being. It is so spacious and open. Everybody who does it experiences exactly the same thing. That open, spacious being is you. That's God. That's reality. That's Buddha nature. That's Christ consciousness. That is pure awareness. It's yourself. This is me. And then there's the me that is form, and it's doing things, and simultaneously the me that is aware of all of it and has not become any of it. Not two. One consciousness, unlimited forms, inexhaustible forms, never the same ever, and yet never repeats, never runs out of ideas. So, right now, notice, is that sense of fear still there? Let me know here in the comments. Todd Sloan, meaty special focus. the witness in truly being natural. Send me, I am abundant awareness without trying to know anything. Abundant awareness. Is there any other kind? Actually, isn't awareness aware of everything? Isn't it aware of abundance as we think of it? And aware of lack as we think of it? Can any term that we could use ever possibly to capture pure being, pure awareness? Is awareness trying to know something? Is awareness trying not to know something? Or is all of this happening in awareness? Awareness, pure consciousness, God, whatever your word for it is beyond all opposites. It is inconceivable. And it's you. It appears as everything, illuminates everything, is the light shining through everything. It cannot be described or seen or captured in any way. So, say abundant, you can also say empty. It's empty full. There's absolutely nothing there. There's everything. Everything there. See, it is beyond all opposites. It's beyond duality and non-duality. These are just words we use for teaching. They don't apply to anything. They don't apply to the self. They are part of the realm of the experience. I'm duality, since allowing, unfailing love. Well, yeah, you are duality and non-duality. If you want to go beyond that. But that's too much. Just simply allow things to be as they are. Don't have preferences. Don't prefer one side to another. And that's what allowing is. Allowing is really the nature of love. It's the nature of the self. It's the nature of reality. So reality has no argument with anything. How could it? Everything comes from it. Good afternoon to you too, Dale. Although it's not afternoon for me yet, is it? No, not quite. Another hour. Jonas, namaste all. About to drive an hour and a half. I will listen to you. Very good. One of two people. I allow myself to get extra cell phone radiation EMF from where I'm on the go. I feel it is worth it. Yes. Don't be afraid of don't be afraid of anything. The world seems littered by toxins and of all kinds. The worst toxin of all, matter of fact, the one that gives existence to all other of the toxic things we experience, psychologically, emotionally, physically, financially, is the toxicity of the egoic mind. The mind that, the state of mind, which is not a thing, it's just a state. The ego is not a thing. It is a set of ideas believed. That is the source of all of the other stuff that we see visibly in the world. Source of war, of greed, of the toxicity that is the fruit of greed, hatred, bigotry, racism, brutality, cruelty. At the root is the ego, or the sense, the very finite sense of being, a self, me and my group, cutting off everything else, protecting ourselves above all. It is exactly the opposite of the sense of oneness, oneness with all. How can I possibly toxify or hurt or be cruel or think any less of somebody when I know I'm one with them? Love your neighbor as yourself. So simple. It was just followed by those who claim to follow the teachings of Christ. They're really actually very simple to follow. And very direct. Love. Love. Expand your boundaries of love. Expand beyond your own little group and your benefit. And so even that. Go there, Jonas, and the EMF can't touch you. Even if it was showering all over you, it can't touch you. It can't touch you anyway. It won't touch your body either. Remember, it is the things that we believe that are the biggest influence on the energy flow that we call the body. Let go of all fear. All of it. And now drive. I put you in the men's program, by the way. You might have gotten an email by now. Workout payment later. Dale, it's been too long since I've been tuned into satsang. Please, to report the awareness of who I really am as permeating my existence and is holding strong. Good. Wow. So, permeating your existence and is holding strong. Good. Your focus is clear. Yeah. Resistance has subsided. Awareness of who I really am. Now, is the I that is aware of the awareness that you truly are. And that awareness, two different things. Is there somebody here aware of who they are? It's very subtle, very subtle. Subtle sense of being two. You are aware of being aware. Is that one thing knowing another? Or is that a non-dual recognition? Awareness recognizing itself. Not secondarily, not like one thing and another, not conceptually. But I know that I am. Just look at that phrase for a second. I know I am. Well, who knows I am? Well, I know I am. So the I am and the recognition of the I am are not two. You are the very thing you're recognizing. You are the self. It is the self that recognizes the self. It's the self that recognizes the delusion as a delusion, recognizes the ego as ego, recognizes the fear and its origins, recognizes love. It recognizes everything and itself. But the recognition of itself is not two. In fact, its recognition of everything is not two. For it is all the self. It is all the one. One, without a second. Unfailing love. That is the perfume of the self, unfailing love. Even those that hate, that are brutal, that are stupid, they're just another form of the notion of a separate self. And there is no separate self holding that notion. It is nothing but a notion. It's a belief without a believer. Or you could say it's the belief and the believer are one. Christine says, fear from the ego. Of course, it's when you start to see through something, it begins to hide itself, right? Throw rocks in the bushes, make you afraid. We can put it in emotional healing terms too. This is just part of the mechanism that is afraid of being dismantled, which is exactly what we're doing. But there's not an entity there, is there? It's just a mechanism. It's a program. The ego is a program. That's all it is. It's AI, artificial intelligence, or AS, artificial stupidity, however you want to look at it. But yes, that's where it originates from, the sense of I'm not going to be here anymore. And our identification with that I has us take on that as if it was my fear. Step back. Oh, I'm not that I. It says, I'm afraid I'm going to lose something. That's just a thought. How can I lose me? I am. How can I lose me? How can I am become I am not? Who'd be there to notice the I am not? I'm not anything in particular. I am not a form, although I appear in form. I was never born. There is no birth or death, really, but I was not born. I am. That's what Christ was pointing at. He says, before Abraham was, I am. Didn't say I was there too. He said, I am. I am. Can I am become I am not? So notice, it's even beyond the sense I am. Prior to I am, there's got to be something that says that's there, or I am couldn't even be an experience, could it? When we're meditating on that sense of your own being, what's noticing even the sense of your own being? And appearing, part of the appearance of everything that is a manifestation of the reality of you is also the ego, the illusion, the delusion. It's part of it. It's part of it. It's all the self. Beyond all of it. You are beyond all of it. You're not going to get there. You're already there. Mind just keeps telling you you're not. And you keep believing it. But that's dissipating. And eventually you'll see that even the one who believed it was also just being watched by you. The one who is that. Wow. I'm going to boost this a touch. Up. 10? Yeah, just a touch. Everybody stop for a moment. I'll get to the other questions and things, but just stop for a moment. This is a contemplative path. Meditation, yes, for sure. And it is meditative when you just, for a moment, draw your attention from everything except your own being. The simple fact that you are, that I am. We don't pay a lot of attention to it. Because, okay, I'll move on to the next thing. But humor me. And just spend a moment there. Right now. Just, I am. You'll notice there's a lot of stuff. Maybe a lot of resistance to it. But it's just a fact, isn't it? I am. That sense of being. And now, every time we get distracted by a million things, but every time you just stop for a moment and do this, you find the same thing, don't you? The same sense of being. It hasn't changed. And if we were to do this little exercise just like this, and if we'd done it 500 years ago, what would you find? Exactly the same thing, right? How about 500 years from now? 500 lifetimes from now? It would be exactly the same. Isn't that interesting? I am. And notice, even as you're looking at it right now, things are changing. Around the screen are changing. My words are changing. Sounds around you are changing. Your body has killed off how many millions of cells and grown how many millions of new ones? It's happening all over, everywhere. Right now there's a jet going over me, I can hear, and the washing machine upstairs, I can hear that in the background. Changing is constant. But is this being? It's kind of like this center point that doesn't move, like a hub in a wheel that's just not moving. Abide here. Now, does it go away? I get really involved. Something really grabs your attention. It's really horrible or really wonderful. It's very pleasurable, very painful. Has this gone away and been replaced by this? And then this goes away. And then this is back here again? Or is this here the whole time? I mean, obviously, if I'm experiencing pain, pleasure, or anything, I'm here, aren't I? So maybe my attention isn't on the sense of being, but the fact of being is always here, just like this. No matter what's going on, it's here. What would it be like if, even while all this stuff is going on, I was also aware of just being? Just notice how quiet it is, how still. It's naturally peaceful. That's your being. Quiet, still, naturally peaceful, problem-free, empty of anything in particular, but not nothing empty, kind of a full empty. This is contemplative. You're really looking. This isn't a belief system. This isn't a theology. It's not something you learn, right? Just look. Just being invited to look. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it. What is it that recognizes something is true or false? Only the truth can recognize truth and falsity. So, if you can see truth and falsity, you must be the truth. That must be who you are. Okay. Heinrich, is ultimate freedom found in being extraordinary, or in radical humility and selfless devotion? Is your willingness to be ordinary the final sign of spiritual mastery? No. It's an advanced one. Yeah, right. But it's simply the willingness to be ordinary can also be a more rarefied, but still a sense of a separate self who's practicing humility, selfless devotion, and the willingness to not have to be special. Because you're not always special. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. You know, somebody falls in love with you. Well, you're the most special thing in the whole universe. Somebody who doesn't know you, you don't exist. Right? So, looking for any quality, you know, I'm special, or I'm ordinary, I'm selfless, I'm humility. Looking for any quality to define you is going to squeeze you into that quality. Right? Oh, I'm humble. Right? Well, you're not going to be humble all the time. Sometimes you're going to be really proud. You know, I'm practicing radical humility. Am I great or what? Selfless devotion. Oh, I'm so selfless. Right? That's wonderful. And there are many traditions and practices where you cultivate this kind of deep humility and compassion. It's part of what I do when I'm teaching emotional healing. And like, you really can't heal. That is, bring the energy, the body, all of that back into a state of equilibrium and flow without these qualities. Right? But this approach, this non-dual self-inquiry, is looking not at the character of the humility and the selfless devotion, which is great. I wish everybody was like that. Wouldn't the world be great? But at the sense of I. Is there a humble person there? If so, then there's a sense of separation from others. It's still dualistic. Right? It's sattvic. It's wonderful. We should strive for it. And it's a part of the spiritual path. But at this stage of the spiritual path, which is coming towards the end, you're not looking at the qualities so much as you're looking at the sense of I. I'm humble. Who's that I? I'm practicing selfless devotion. Notice that the I is kind of assumed. It's inferred. There's a person here who is becoming increasingly compassionate and loving, increasingly wise, increasingly unselfish, giving. Again, qualities are wonderful. They need to be cultivated. But here we look at the I. Who's the I? Who's the I that's doing practicing? The I that's trying to become the Buddha or the perfect being. Who is that I? Now when you contemplate that and really look, you'll find that that I itself is an idea. It's a concept. It's a set of beliefs, reactive patterns, and the like, and it isn't actually a thing, and it isn't actually who you are. Now that, letting go of that I, seeing that, you begin to recognize that, well, wait a minute, something is aware of these, of all of these ideas and thoughts that I had taken to be myself. Something is now seeing that. Well, I am. Who am I that's aware even of this I? As Ramana Maharshi put it, the I removes the I and yet remains the I. And notice, it's an even deeper level of selflessness, isn't it? Selfless devotion. You are completely dismantling that sense of self. To truly be selfless, no self, or one self, where only the one remains, and that the humility is not an acquired quality. It is simply the emanation of the self. It's practice to be the self. You just are. You don't need to learn how. You don't need to attain it. You just are. How's that, Heinrich? Does that answer your question? Does that give you something to chew on? I never ever want to say, oh no, to dismiss that. It's just, it's a step beyond that. The spirituality that cultivates these great qualities. And again, everybody does go through that, sincerely goes through that. And the contemplation does need to be balanced. This non-dual contemplation does need to be balanced with these qualities. Because oftentimes I'll find people doing non-dual self-inquiry like this, and they're arrogant. They think they got it, right? So there is this path of devotion, of just complete surrender of yourself, right? And you take on the humility, but you realize that this is simply the way to be. I can't be proud of being humble. I really have absolutely nothing. Every great quality I have, I didn't create. It's just a gift. How can I not be anything but humble? How can I be proud of what I haven't done? Every success that's come, as well as every failure, has been a part of this incredible experience of taking form, of experiencing through form. And then who am I? Am I separate from that which has made all of this possible? Is humility a quality I own? Or have I just removed so much of what I'm not that it's just kind of shining through all on its own? Not a personal possession. Same is true of love, of wisdom, of compassion, of creativity, of intelligence. You see, none of it comes from me personally. It all comes from the self, which is me, but not a personal me, not an ego. I am that, and I am this, not two. Anyway, how's that, Heinrich? Roberto, we are extraordinary when we find we are not. Isn't that true? Yes. It's rare when somebody goes, wow, that was extraordinary. How the hell did I do that? I've done some extraordinary things in my life. But boy, did I want to be proud of those. I want to capitalize on those. And plenty of business people and marketing people tell me I should. I would try and just failed miserably. Why? Because if I'd succeeded, I would never have come to see this. I'd never have come to see that whatever appears in your life is the blessing. So I've had extraordinary failures. Disastrous. Yeah. Now I can say, in all truthfulness, Lord, thank you for this disastrous life. Thank you, Jonas. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, my friend. Todd Sloan, I love the continuity of being in the now. Can you ever not be? Anybody here ever gotten out of now? Just wondering. If anybody does it, let me know, okay? Jonas, is the men's group, it's on a Sunday, only on Sunday, or one of our days? No, it's just next, it's today's Sunday, yeah? It's next Sunday, yeah. There won't be Tea with G next Sunday because I'm going to be teaching this men's workshop. Yeah, popular demand. Next Saturday, the one for women, also by popular demand. There's still plenty of room. There's enough that I'm going to be doing it. So anyway, yeah. Hope to get back home with internet connection till Sunday, 7 p.m. Swedish time. Yeah, it's going to start. I think that's right. 1900 in Sweden. Yes, I think that's correct. Yeah, 1700 UTC. Time sounds really good. Sleepwalking mode. My little me through my opinion ego can hijack even without challenging. Losing it, so to speak, even without challenge. Yes. Hence, opinion plays the strings in me a lot. Yes. It's beautiful Zen staying. Don't seek enlightenment. Just drop your opinions. Yeah. Notice the little me. The opinionated, the one who's holding all the opinions. But don't treat it like this interloper that you have to fight and get rid of. I find it much more valuable to look at it more like just a fragmented part of you. Right? Why do we hold on to an opinion? Because it makes us feel safe. Oh, I know something. Well, great. Of course, we all do it, right? We can do it with anything. So, the little me is just another thought. It's just, but don't turn it into an entity, this thing we have to get rid of. Just see it as part of this flow of energy that we call consciousness. There's this flow of things that's happening. There's the thought, little me. Okay, so what's witnessing the thought? What's witnessing the ego? Notice I'm saying, don't throw the thought away, don't throw the ego away. Let it let it come to be seen for what it actually is. This non-dual inquiry is not harsh. It's not beating anybody up. It's not throwing stuff at people. It recognizes that the egoic sense of self is just part of human life. It arises. Right? But we took on a human form for the express purpose of transcending all of that. Right? So you don't struggle to drop the opinions. Right? You don't walk through life unopinionated. I got opinions about things. I also recognize that opinions are always limited, and I can change them. I'm not stuck in it. I don't attach a sense of well-being to the opinions that I hold. They're just an opinion that, as I grow, as I cultivate, as I become more wise, my opinions become, first off, less solid, much more malleable, but also more you could say more insights into the conflict of human life between the egoic sense of self and our own loving nature. And that's the duality that we have to reconcile. You see, the ego is nothing but the sense of self that is stuck inside this little bitty box called me. The personal sense of me, the limited me, the unhappy me. And what would you do with somebody unhappy? Would you, shut up, get out of here, go away, here, read this book, take this course. It's all an illusion. We wouldn't do that. Unhappy. It's unhappiness. I just be simply present with it. This sense of being unhappy. Don't fight it like it's an enemy, but instead just, there's a sense of unhappiness here. Okay, I'm not that unhappiness. That's all you need to do. I'm not that. I'm looking at it. And there'll be a natural sense of love there, even for the unhappiness. Because we are going to feel unhappy about stuff. We're going to feel disappointed. We're going to feel grief. We're going to feel loneliness. We're going to feel cut off. We're going to feel isolated. We're going to feel these things. We're going to see the mind, human life, in all of its dimensions. That's the point. To recognize that you are what sees it all. The sun shines on the beautiful trees behind me, or it shines on a pile of poop. It doesn't draw any distinctions, but it knows the difference. Right? Yeah. I'm just trying to point to this place in you, Todd. It's there and can't be hijacked. It doesn't hold all the opinions. It acknowledges them. It doesn't have a real argument with them. That, as the sense of I begins to abide there and eventually be that, all the rest takes care of itself. It does everything. Abide in your beingness. Even when you don't know what that is, just that it is, it will do the rest. Eventually, you'll not abide in it, you'll abide as it. This is me. And out of there, just through what we call grace, everything will just unfold quite beautifully and naturally, effortlessly. And from there, it's just nothing but humility, awe, wonder. Just reminds me, I just saw it. Perhaps it's here. here it is. Truly, again, the song of the Advaita. Truly, all this universe is only myself. It is neither divided nor undivided. It's not the ego and self. It's not deluded and enlightened. How can I even assert that it exists? I can only view it with wonder and awe. Practice. Yeah. Do you have a particular practice that you do, Todd? Is there a name for it? Is it just kind of your own? The never-ending experience of unique being and cultivation practice. Heinrich, upon the stage of existence, even after glimpsing the heights of the divine, the mask returns to fur and fangs. A humble monkey again. Indeed. Yes. Yeah. O Guru, after knowing heights divine, I find myself returned to mere monkey form. In this humbling sorrow clings, my soul aches, remembering what I was, longing for lost wings. Guru, I struggle with this scene, to soar as divine, then become only a monkey again. My heart aches to lose that greatness. Why must I embrace smallness after tasting the heights of being? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. That is a lamentation, a lament that everybody here can relate to. When you taste the heights, you have touched for a moment the reality of your being. And then everything closes back in. You feel the animal nature, the monkey, the fangs, the drive, the selfishness, the drive for safety, the lust, the fears. All of it's there. All right. Now, has the being in its purity that you glimpsed, has it gone away? Are you not that even when the experience is of the monkey, the ape? Are you not still and always that? You see, the experience that we have of that bliss, of that wonderment, of the allness, the freedom, the sweet taste of that. If it comes and goes, it isn't the actual truth. It's an experience. It's a pointer. It's an emanation. But it's not it. Anything that comes and goes is not the reality. What doesn't come and go? You. You're the same. You experience this. Oh, the angels sang. I mean, it was glorious. Absolutely. Awe and wonder. Is it not the same you that is also experiencing the monkey, the fangs, the weight of it, the heaviness? Is it not the same you? Yeah. Now, let go of the idea that your reality is any kind of experience whatsoever. And that the spiritual path is somehow trying to get free of the monkey and into this bliss as a permanent condition. Is there any permanent condition? Is there anything anyone has ever experienced in their life, ever, that hasn't come and gone? What hasn't come and gone? It is a big misunderstanding that the spiritual path leads to a state of perpetual bliss as we think of bliss, ecstasy, pleasure, upside, no downside. All experiences come and go. Nirvana, awakening, enlightenment, is not that. It's the recognition of yourself as beyond that. Beyond the monkey, but loves the monkey too. Imagine now, take away any thought that this moment should be any different than it is. Somehow, in this moment, something's lacking. And I want to get to another moment. Take that away. Just right here, right now, without any comparison to anything else. Is there anything wrong here? Differing qualities of experience. Is one better or worse? One pleasurable, more pleasurable than another? Sure, this is pleasure, this is pain, this is ecstatic, this sucks. Okay, but now look at them all as just experiences. Ripples in consciousness. Made of the same stuff. Witnessed by the same consciousness. You know, the color red is a low frequency of light, right? Whereas the color violet is a much faster, right? That's the range of visible light. And then there's radio waves above it, and there's infrared down below, and that's sort of the stuff that the eye can't see. Now, is the red any less light than the violet? Are they not exactly the same? Are they not two different aspects of the pure white light which cannot be seen at all? The ecstatic or the miserable are both made of the same stuff. They are simply experiences. The preference for one over another is the limitation to be overcome, to go beyond. You are not the ecstasy. You are the consciousness, the pure, absolute being that makes all of it possible and are beyond all of that. To know that is the end of suffering. This is the true height divine, wherein no matter what happens, no matter what happens, you are beyond it. You are in the state of perpetual ananda, utter peace, utter contentment, utter presence, utter knowing. If I can find real... See, okay, chapter 6 was chapter 7. Let me see if I can find chapter 7 here. A patched rag from the roadside serves as a shawl to the abbot who has no sense of pride or shame. Naked, he sits in an empty shack, immersed in the pure, stainless bliss of the self. His attainment is beyond attaining or non-attaining. His state is beyond that of union or separation. He is continually established in the one stainless reality. Free from the bondage to the fetters of hope. Free from the yoke of acceptable conduct. Free from everything. He's thus attained peace. He is the stainless one, the pure absolute. Let go of everything. Everything. And you'll find you are the divinity that appeared in a form of the ecstatic at one time, and now appears in the form of the monkey, the red light and the violet light. Oh, such a beautiful lesson. And such a beautiful prayer. Did you read that somewhere? Or did you actually write that? It's just beautiful. I mean, that is the heart of someone who is a candidate for awakening. An earnest prayer, an earnest reaching out to the Guru. And who's the Guru? That which even inspires you, moves you to reach out to the Guru is the Guru. Brahman alone is the Guru of Brahman. Truth is the Guru of truth. It is the reality of you reaching in to the sense of I and bringing it back to itself. Before Abraham was, I am. I go unto my Father. I comes home. The prodigal son comes home. It happens through. Okay. Papaji said it. Truth can't come to an arrogant mind. Mind filled with awe and wonder and not knowingness. That's the heart that's ready for the divine touch. Thank you for that, Heinrich. Just beautiful. Sheila. Oh no, Sylvia, sorry. Is humility more about forgiveness or denying oneself? Accepting one's individuality seems healthy. Yes, it is. That's part of being humble. Yeah. This form. Right? You are both beyond the form and are the form. At least you could say that the form is manifesting you. The form is like the reflection of you in the mirror. In this case, that which is being reflected can't be seen. Just the image can be seen. So what's the humility there? That all the gifts that you have, all the great things you can do, are not personal possessions. And the enjoyment of those things is not a personal enjoyment. This is the reality of you, the self enjoying itself. You know, we think of the transcendent self beyond all, empty, timeless, dimensionless. God, it must get boring. Its nature is this love which emanates the universe in constant transformation over and over again. God knows how many universes there are. And you, Sylvia, this form is deeply significant. Never before has it ever appeared. Never will it ever happen again. This moment, everything. And notice, even the form Sylvia is not the same one moment to the next. You're not the same as you were 5 years ago. Who are you? I don't know. I have no idea. How can I know? It's moving. The appearance is happening all the time. All I know is, I am. And I am aware of all of this. And I am all of this. And I'm not all of this at the same time. It's also here somewhere. Back to chapter... Oh, where does he? Non-attachment. Separation from... anyway, yeah, it's just... I am the form and the formless. The I am is eminent, immanent, manifest in all form. Formless, manifested in all form. How do you separate them? See, our minds can't grasp that as not being two. All right, well, there's the form and the formless, right? So the formless is this entity, the self, and then all of this other stuff. They're not two. Music and the song, they're not two. The one is the direct explosion of the other, the constant unfolding. And when you see that the form is not an entity separate from the self, that Sylvia is not something separate from the self, but the very presence of the self. And suddenly the separation just, it's gone, it vanishes. There's not two here. You are Sylvia and you are the Absolute. I have to put it in those terms. Right? The Absolute is Sylvia. You are the Buddha. Look at me, you're seeing you. I look at you, I'm seeing me. Right? You're much better looking than I am. But yeah, even that I is simply a point of perception, isn't it? The I is beyond all points of perception. Inconceivable to us. That's the real meaning of non-duality. It's not this abstraction, this self that's out there somewhere. And it's empty and stuff. And then there's all this other stuff. What do they have to do with each other? They are one and the same. The wave and the ocean are one and the same. What is all of this but an evanescent ripple on the infinite ocean of being, awareness, self? It's from the River Gita. That's what all this is. When we think of these as things, objects that have a form as, this is it, right? And I am what I am, it is simply thoughts have frozen that which is not a thing, constantly transforming. And the appearance of objects, well, yeah, it appears as objects. So the self appears as Sylvia and GP and a universe and Heinrich and everything else. That's how it appears to itself. Who's seeing the form called Sylvia? This is what forgiveness really is. There's nothing to forgive. It's all innocent. It is all the self. So you're not forgiving yourself. You're not denying yourself. Right? You're denying that the form is yourself. Right? That is separate from yourself, a separate entity. I'm this form and I got to get back there. But that doesn't actually, it's just not true. It's not like I'm denying it. I have to get it going. No, it's just not true. I am. And this is how I appear right now. It's not what I am right now. I am is unknowable. But everything here is me. The universe is my body. Galaxies are my socks. The clusters, galaxy clusters are my pants. I'm sorry, I'm going off now. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Hey G, does the ego ever quiet down? I have autonomy to not be controlled by it, but for a while now, especially detaching from conditioning, it's been so bossy. Beautiful, beautiful. It's been bossy the whole time, love. You're just actually now really seeing it, because before we're identified with it. It is me. These are just my thoughts. I don't even think about it. Now it's like, well, wait a minute, this really isn't me. This is conditioning. That's the advantage of the emotional healing stuff. You now go, my God, you're annoying. Jesus, these thoughts that I thought were mine, they're bossy. They're judgmental. They get nasty even. They say, do this. I do it. And then they go, well, that was stupid. Why'd you do that? What the hell? Who saw you run? It's steps. It's this gradual kind of separating out. Recognizing that you do have autonomy. You don't have to be controlled of it. Be controlled by it. That's great. What it means is that there's some space between the event and the reactive pattern. When they were like this, call it a trigger. This happens and this happens. But eventually you go, well, why does it? That doesn't really have to happen. And through the emotional healing, there's some distance there now. You're not, I got to make this change. No, wait, I can just stand back here. And suddenly this gap opens. You're going to talk all about that gap in level 2. So, but of course, at that point, it's go, oh my God, can I speed this up? How can I how? Yeah. You are going, actually, as fast as you can go. I'm taking you down the fastest path there is. Just let go of trying to speed it up or slow it down. Trying to do either slows it down. You can't slow it down, you can't speed it up. Oh God, once you get a glimpse of freedom, holy shit. You just can't wait. Come on, let's get to it. But that's also the ego trying to take over that and turn it into this egoic accomplishment of, I'm going to get free now. Ooh, it's a subtle trap. Yeah. Just follow along. Just follow along. One step at a time. Notice exactly how fast it's actually going. We haven't been working together that long. Just stop and take a look back and go, wow, I never even saw this stuff before. Now I'm impatient about it. No. You're on the fast track. No. You're totally on the fast track. No. Yeah, wonderful. And also that sense of, it's so bossy there, so I got to get out of this. Right? What's also happening is that separation is that yearning for freedom that's been suppressed for so long is now beginning to come up and asserting itself. It's like, oh yeah. And it can, because you're actually doing the work you need to do. It's now safe enough. The iron fist of safety and withdrawal has begun. It's begun to loosen because you're making it. You're becoming safer and safer. When that happens, freedom is naturally going to arise. Now, at first, it's going to look like there's this huge conflict. How do I get rid of it? But it's all right. A reconciliation is happening. Well, they'll begin to harmonize. Freedom will be supported by safety. And our just lust for freedom will become wise because of safety. So they will begin to harmonize and work together musically, like the colors of the rainbow work together. Because it's really all one. It's the traumatization that created the sense of a fragmentation, separated, splintered things off, where there really isn't anything. There isn't anything at all that to the separation. It never really happened. It's just frozen in a spot where it seems like it happened. It seems like these opposing forces. They're not. They're actually two aspects of the one that is you. So keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. I guess I should, before I end here, let me find it really quick. Here, guys, the links to the men's workshop and the women's workshop that is coming up next weekend. The women's, which will be on Saturday, the 26th. Yes, correct. I'm just getting the link here now. Copy. That will, yes, 10 a.m. my time for me, 1 p.m. Eastern, which right now is, 5 p.m. UTC, 1700 UTC, Daylight Savings Time. You guys, I'll work that out. But yeah, I was reluctant to do these. I really just focused my attention on the emotional healing and on non-dual self-inquiry, but I've had a lot of requests for it. Because I've had a lot of experience working in the realm of this men's work and women's work. The difference between the two, resolution of a lot of conflicts. I'm just kind of dismantling a lot of basically the bullshit we were all taught. Yeah. So this is the link to the woman's, and here is the link to the man's. It's really easy. It's all the same except the man or woman on the end. It's very cheap, sliding scale. There's two different prices. The price is $50. If you can't afford that, there's one for $25. And if you can't afford that, just let me know. I make deals for people all the time because whatever it is you reach out to for healing, that I provide, I want to provide. I almost never turn anyone away. Yeah. That's why I have to do things like cat sitting. Extra work on the side to keep the money coming in. And anyway, Todd, I plan on true nature to always arise within. I'm glad you recognize getting somewhere else pulls the highest frequency, security of charity. Yeah. I plan on true nature to always arise within. Who's doing the planning? Who are you? You're planning on true nature. You rely on true nature. It's the true nature, isn't it your true nature? Huh? Don't make it something separate. Who are you? That's the question. You're describing all sorts of things, but who are you? Heinrich's abiding in the here and now feels a constant struggle. Yeah, just recognize that you're always here and now. Where else are you? Even amid the lamps and colors of the world, my spirit aches, being restored to this monkey skin is humbling. Wonder and power, a memory, longing. Yeah, it's okay, my friend. It's okay. I would invite you to join my self-inquiry sangha, which is a private group. It's actually a small subscription fee. I meet every Wednesday, but we get on Zoom, so we can really just explore these things together, and you'll find everybody there is experiencing that same thing, that sense of grasping and then falling back in again. What's watching the pendulum swing? Which aware of the longing. It's not delegitimizing any of it. Of course, we long for freedom. But if we think freedom lies somewhere else, some other time, some set of circumstances, that's in fact what's binding us. It's here, it's now, it's you. It's not an experience. In fact, the greatest realizations have come in the midst of just horrible anxiety. The deep stuff, the fire burning stuff away, that feeling of being cut off from God. Right? That's hell. Right? The actual story, well, the story in Islam is different than the Christian story of the devil. And it's not that it was his ego that revolted. He revolted because God wanted him to serve man. He didn't want to serve anybody but his beloved. So God banished him. That's the story. It says in the story that the devil, now banished into hell, and never see God. His joy is his beloved's voice saying, the last thing saying to him, what? Be gone. Even the sound of his voice, that voice saying, be gone. Very different character than the representation of the ego. That is the Christian version. They have a completely different view in Judaism. So Ida, I forgot to say hello. Hello, love. I'm allowed to do it, so. Marty, I am in thee. Thou art in me. Yes. Shh. Whichever way you look at it. I can look at it as me and you. I can look at it as you and me. So I'm obviously beyond both, aren't I? I'm in the body. I experience being in the body, but in fact the body is in me. It's just this motion, these ripples in consciousness. And I experience it as if I'm in it. Kind of a virtual reality kind of thing. Where you are the reality. Aren't you? Aren't you what is? I am. Wow, that's so potent. I'm what is. Everybody's looking for what is. Science. What it's about. It doesn't tell you what anything is. It just tells you what it does. It doesn't know what something is. This is an appearance, right? Of something else. All sorts of little molecules and stuff in there. But all of it. The atom, every atom on the periodic table of elements, every element is the self. Every leaf on the tree, the little kitty sitting next to me. Wow. I am myself, and all this is how I myself appear to myself. Now and now and now. Every now different, never the same. And yet, now. Always now. The content. I think this may help you, Heinrich. Abiding in the here and now feels a constant struggle. Yeah. That's the content of now is forever changing. We can't make that sit still. But to whom is all of the content appearing? And is that changing? Things zip through the now. But aren't you the now? Isn't this where you are? Okay. This is the struggle to try to find a state of permanence, a state of unchangingness, of stability in the content of consciousness, which is impossible. This is the nature of impermanence. Nothing here is ever the same, ever, one second to the next. But in order for that to be, everything constant, impermanent, there must be something that is. Those are the eyes that are looking at it and saying it is impermanent. Behind those eyes is what is permanent, but not permanent as a thing. You can't say it's permanent, you can't say it's impermanent, really. Yet it is the changeless, manifest in the change. It is the timeless, perceived through the field of time. Wow. It is not two. It is you. It is you. I am that. I am that which is seeing. There's a sense of being. We've just gotten very used to this perspective of the body, experience ourselves as if we're in the body, and seeing everything, which is really you, from this particular point of view. Now we're coming out of that to see that, well, the body is in me. And all of this is in consciousness. Is it not? So then what am I? Yeah, this perspective, this is the content. This is kind of the virtual reality glasses, this body. Right? I step outside of it. Like you did, Heinrich, didn't you? Right? And it was just like this bliss and the like. We just simply stepped out of that concrete, unquestioned, unscrutinized sense of the body and recognized that, wait a minute, I'm not the body. And of course, yeah, give me that, give me more. But just patience, my dear. Patience. Patience. I think this is right. If anybody would like to join, S-A-N-G-J. If anybody would like to join the Self-Inquiry Sangha, where I do this, except I can actually interact. It's on Zoom. It's not a huge group. I don't have thousands of students. Bodhidharma, who brought Zen Buddhism to China, only had one. So I'm doing pretty good compared. But it's an environment where we can really dig into this. And I can do it individually. Right? And just, yeah. I can see you, we can hear each other. It's a different vibe and very effective. There's a lot of people that are here that are in that. Megan, give me a heart. It's Miss Nay. Love you so much. Yeah. I'll be your surrogate dad. I'm everybody's dad and grandpa these days. Much thanks to G. What a satsang. Thank you, Ava. Ida, me and you. Stillness and motion equals stillness and motion. Yeah, right? You're aware of both, aren't you? Stillness without motion would be nothing. Be a teeter-totter that just sat there like that. Well, so what? Who cares? It's got to go like this, right? It's got to go like this, So, and it's got to go like this so somebody can jump off the one side and, the other guy can land on their ass. That's what it's about. That's the whole experience of it. Now, what about motion without stillness? I mean, it's inconceivable because everything moving, nothing. Motion has to have a reference point. So they're not two. They're not two. Which means that you the perceiver of both motion and motionlessness, are beyond both. Inconceivable. You are inconceivable. Inconceivable. That's what you are. Sorry. Yeah. Past the time, I'm beginning to break into song. What you seek is seeking you. Yes. What you seek is you. That's all we're seeking. We think it's something else, but it's you. And of course, you're seeking you, aren't you? Love Rumi. Heinrich, thanks. Warmly invite you to Rishikesh for Let's Make It Happen. A retreat devoted to the heart of becoming and finding freedom and humility. Let's gather together on the banks of the Ganga. Beautiful, beautiful. I spent a month with my master in Rishikesh. I used to go there every year. Be the nature of the one who knows nature. You are that. I keep emphasizing that over and over. You cannot become what you are. You can only finally admit to it. Admit to it. Admit you are the one. You are the self. You are that you've been seeking. Whether you see it or not, don't ask your mind to agree with you. Don't ask the ego to go, I like that, that's okay. Yeah, all right. It's not going to. It's not going to just, roll over, right? It's going to, oh yeah? Yeah, you don't exist. The ego does not exist. Oh yeah, you think so? Oh, watch me. It's part of the game. It's part of the experiencing of transcending, which is the self experiencing itself as forgetting who it is and then remembering it, because it can't forget who it is. Even the path of enlightenment and the enlightenment itself is just a ripple in consciousness. There's no path for the self. There's no arriving. There's no enlightenment. There's no remembering. There's no forgetting. You are that. Don't mind that at all. Unforgettable. Thank you, GP. Unrememberable too. Yes. Yes. I will be starting another level 1 emotional healing class too, if anybody's interested, but not. I've got enough. I've got to launch level 2 and 3 people. But past level 1 people to kind of belly up to the bar and join in. But at any rate, all the rest, the emotional healing, the power to work through the traumas, to sort this all out, to really reconcile lovingly all of this stuff. Wow. That's the outcome, the manifestation, the realization of who you are. What happens is just an explosion of love. Heinrich, great. Let your yearning for true freedom and humble being guide you to Rishikesh, where the river and silence add to your search. As you join us in seeking wisdom with monkey simplicity and depth. Very, very nice. Very nice. Thank you all. Thank you, Heinrich. I don't think I've seen you here before. Hope you'll join in again. I don't know anything about what this event is. I don't know if you're a teacher there, or you're hosting it, or it's just, there is a master that you have. Whatever. I'm curious about it. Yeah. Had a lot of fun in Rishikesh. Sitting by the Ganga. Anyway, fun. And I formally became my teacher student. It was quite a time. When you ask a real master, to be your master. You don't realize it, but you've just put your head in the tiger's mouth, and there is no escape. Thank you all. Love you all. Namaste.